Guys, the new Mario Kart 8 DLC is out for a while now, and I started playing again. I want to have a look at all the new tracks which we got, the deluxe tracks, and we will create Choco Mountain with clay. ClayClaim. I want to be honest, I have no idea how to start this tiny map, so my idea was we start with a miniature. The miniature will help us to understand the height but also the whole dimension of Choco Mountain. In the first working step I try to ignore all the mountains and hills, but to focus on the track itself. My idea is once the track gradient is right, we can add all the details. I think this is the highest point. It's right there. The track itself, Choco Mountain, was first introduced in the N64 version, which I loved and played so much, so the track isn't new to me, although they made some bigger changes to it in decoration and adding more and more landscape around. But we still have the same bats in the cave and also the falling rocks. Now that I see the tiny scale, I think I actually like this scale more than the bigger one. We could build this with chocolate, real chocolate, Choco Mountain with chocolate. I don't know what it is about mixing food with clay. After all, if nothing is wasted, I think it's an experiment worth trying. Now we have a big, thick chunk of chocolate to work with, and no chocolate will be wasted in this video. I started to eat less sugar, by the way. I once had a cheating day. Once a week I allowed myself to eat sugar, like chocolate. Okay, I think this was the worst idea I ever had. Okay, maybe one of the worst ideas. On the plus side, we have now two models to create the final, the perfect Chocolate Mountain. What I learned from both of these tiny models, it's good to start with the track itself to get the track gradient right, and then after this focusing on the hills, mountain landscape details and so on. Some of the more characteristic track segments are the abyss, but also these ski jumps. I accidentally created two of them, but I will add the third one. Right here, it's the spot where you are leaving the cave and then have to fly over the abyss with a broken bridge. And then the entrance into the cave. I wanted to create the interior part of the cave as well, so I think after working on the landscape colors, we will also work on the cave inside area as well. Finding the right colors was so hard for me because it's called Choco Mountain. I thought, okay, I just have to look for some brownish colors. But then when driving around, I saw some nuances and different colors within the mountains. A lot of reddish colors depending on the light. So it was always a struggle which colors to pick. And this is the beautiful pattern for the mountains. the first inside part, the first mountain, which we can now place onto the track. In theory, the material used inside the cave is the exact same as which can be found outside. But as it is darker inside the cave, it appears way darker. This is why I choose to take the storm gray color as the filling, but also the color for the walls inside the cave. And with a scalpel, I try to create some hard edges to imitate the rocks and rockish look. What you can't see right now is the ochre clay track. I put this into the oven for like 10 minutes to get it slightly solid, which makes it now so easy to add all the other soft clay on top of it. This will be the area for the exit of the cave, and by coating all the ochre parts, we are creating this feeling, this illusion of being inside the cave. The crumbly Fimo Professional can be used for the rocks on the side of the track. It's terracotta to get in some reddish colors, which I mentioned before. And we can now finish the interior part of the cave by adding some further rocks. We have this column in the front, and while the bats are flying around, we also have some beautiful crystals. And I think this is the perfect use for my neon colors. Neon blue, which gets really shiny and is glowing in the dark once you hit it with black light. Let's see if it works in the end. Just adding some further elements on the left side. Maybe another crystal in the front. The big mountain right in the middle where the track is going around, where the rocks are falling off, is the most difficult one for me, because I didn't find any reference images where I could see or figure out what it looks on top. We have some perspectives though in the gameplay itself, where we can see some bigger rocks lying on top of it, and then we have 2 layers of chocolate brown covering these mountains, just like here. And after oven hardening, we will focus on these areas right now. The 2 layers can be found on each of these mountains, and while working on these, I was wondering if Choco Mountain is called Choco Mountain because it's a mountain which looks like chocolate, or is it because we are in the Mario universe after all, it is made out of chocolate. Maybe you don't understand or get the difference which I'm talking about. I think it's because it looks like chocolate. It's not real chocolate inside this world. But we have some candy tracks, right? The one with cheese. Probably it's real chocolate inside the game. Okay, I've now listened for hours to this song. It's making me aggressive. The chocolate coating looks a bit boring right now. This is why I decided to add some tiny chocolate rocks and elements to the cliff and to the mountain. So I'm basically just doodling around. We have this wall, this concrete wall, and we find the warning symbol, the warning sign that there are somewhere some falling rocks coming in front of us. It's standing right in front of this wall. And on the left side, the tiny lake where the falling rocks are disappearing. I'm using the chocolate brown again to cover this wall up. And now the liquid clay. You can create a beautiful water effect by using this liquid clay and after oven hardening adding some transparent polish to it. And this is what we are doing right now. Let's place it into the oven. And meanwhile, we start working on all the game elements which can be found on the side of the track, like the symbols. We have one sign with the arrow right at the beginning, a few meters into the race. The arrow itself, I think I'll paint this after oven hardening. And then we have a total of 4 trees. And some wooden elements, like the entrance into the cave, some wooden support inside the cave, and for the exit we have the broken bridge and some further supporting elements made out of wood. And the most complicated one, the finishing line, which is so tiny. I think nobody will read the Mario Kart on this sign. And then I had to decide whether I put some coins onto the map and how to deal with the question boxes. I decided to go for the version where you are racing just by yourself, the solo race with coins but without the question boxes. You may decide how stupid this was. I think I'm already missing the question boxes. Maybe I'll add them for a future track, who knows. And then we have a lot of tiny rocks which are sticking together. And they are the decorative elements on the roof, on top of the mountains itself. Slightly brighter than the chocolate color. The 2-layered coating of the hills. Oops. And now we are ready to put this into the oven. Freshly baked chocolate mountain. And all the tiny elements, which we still have to assemble and glue onto the map. We have the tiny arrow. Right at the beginning. This is so tiny. There's a tree behind the sign. Another tree goes right here. And then when you spend hours and hours on the track, you suddenly realize, oh no, there are some further signs. The Yoshi X sign, for example, or the Shy Guy sign, which we will create in a minute. This is the entrance to the cave, made with wood. And for the inside part of the cave, we have this supporting wooden structure to prevent the cave from breaking. We have the bridge, which is obviously broken. And with transparent polish, the water gets quite shiny. The rock, which is falling down. I thought it would be nice to create 2 of these, because we also have 2 spots where the rocks are falling down. And for the finishing line, Mario Kart. You can read this? Obviously not. Last but not least, the coins, which I wanted to add. I still have no idea why you are collecting them in a race. I think it's... well, I have no idea. You're losing them when you got hit. And I'm always trying to collect all of them. But I have no idea why. Okay, this is the sign, the warning sign, which says, okay, now you're entering an area where rocks are falling down. Guys, that's it! Chocolate Mountain from Mario Kart 8. The remake version from the N64 track. And now with some black light, the crystals! Look at that! Oh. I enjoyed this project so much. If you want to see further Mario Kart 8 tracks, let me know which one. Leave it down in the comments. Check out all the other videos which I recently made. Guys, take good care. Bye.